Hello, my friends. Diana Rankin here, and with one of the questions that you've had, Philip, my spirit guide, will answer today. And I want to thank you, all of you who are so kind and so loving that you give me thumbs up. Uh, you give me the likes, and your comments are so beautifully loving. We've turned a corner. We've talked about the energy shift, and I really think we've turned the corner. Uh, we're tired of wars. We're tired of anger. We're tired of infighting and all of that. And I think we're going to see things, not that that's all going to be gone, but the bigger story, for any story, there's always chaos before the change, before the new story. And so I think the chaos, a lot of it may be behind us. That's not to say it's all behind us by any means. And it's not to say some of the most harmful things are not yet ahead of us, but we're going to get through it. And I think we have a little hope. When I do the monthly predictions, which most of you know I'm not fond of doing, but when I do those, especially in the election year in the US, there are always those who don't like what I have to say. And I guess I always wonder, if you don't like something, why watch it? So if you don't like my videos, don't watch. Simple as that. Don't spend your time. Waste your time if that's how you feel about it. If you do like them, thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of this community. Thank you for your kind and loving comments. And here are some of the people. Johanna says, hi, Diana and friends. Rush, hello, my sister, says, hello, Diana, Piper and friends. Piper is hiding right now. She's over and on that side of the room on the rug. Rush says 100%. And SV says, hi, Diana, from Sharon in Texas. Hello, Sharon. Welcome. So good to have all of my sisters, or some of my sisters, coming on here. Maybe some of our brothers will show up too. We'll see. Diane Fox says hello. Well, hello, Diane. It's been a while since I've talked to you or seen you. Diane, I used to do a program in Columbus once a month. And Diane would always come to that program. So it's good to see you, Diane. Gaida says, hello, everyone. We're getting lots of hellos and hearts and wonderful. Anyway, I started thinking about, Diane says you too. Thank you, Diane. I started thinking about, why do people, with social media, people make comments that are unkind and downright mean. And I was always taught, I'm 78, so I was always taught, I grew up in that world of, if you have nothing to say that's kind, don't bother saying anything. And again, why waste your time watching something you don't like? So I do come back at people who are unkind, and I will question them or say something that sometimes I get a little sarcastic, I know. But I also have a delete key for those hateful comments. And they don't come on a normal Friday. They usually just come on the predictions. So we have a couple more months this year. And in the country, in the US where I live, it's election time. So we'll see what happens. Sandra says, good evening. I wonder where you're from that it's evening. Maybe Sandra will tell us, because where I am, it's 1 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. So in addition, today's question, I was really fascinated with it. It's from one of our readers. And if you have a question for Philip, just put it in the comments, not on this feed as much as in the regular comments beneath the video, that they stay there. This feed sometimes gets a little wonky. Sandra says, Germany. Yes. I'm thinking Europe. I could be wrong about this. I'm thinking around a 6-hour difference. You're 6 hours ahead of us, I'm thinking. And I could be wrong about that. Forgive me if I'm wrong. It's a number. I went to the orthopedic doctor earlier this morning, and I was having some trouble with my hip. And I had a motorcycle accident many years ago, and it's kind of a residue from that. And he asked me, what percentage would you say it's better? And I just kind of started laughing. I said, I'm a poet. Numbers, and I have trouble with that. And he said, okay, would you say good, great, or better? So we figured it out from the words what the percentage is, and it's much better. Thank you. Anyway, this came from one of our viewers, a question, and I was really interested in it because of some of the comments that came through. So again, thank you for your hearts, your comments, your love, your support. I am so grateful. The question, there are a couple in this, but are there new or baby souls and old souls? What do these labels mean? How does the type of soul we are affect our human life? And I like the answer. It's a little more, I've often said there are new souls, medium, middle souls, and older souls. But I like what Phillip, he goes into a little more depth and explains it. And then we will also get a message from one of my books, The Master's Book of Answers by Phillip, which is just an oracle book. We just open to any page, and there's your answer. Guided says the benefits of the internet are that people can say what they want. The problem is that some people don't think about the effects of what they say. We have to spread positively to overcome the hate. We absolutely, yes, thank you. Thank you, Guided. We absolutely do. You know, you've heard me say it. There's love-based emotion and there's fear-based emotion. And this community is love-based. And I'm so grateful for the love that all of you add to the world, because we are making a difference. We are. And again, I do want to add, just keep Chicago in the light. Keep sending Chicago protection. Let's get through the month of August. And hopefully Chicago's going to be okay. All right. So let's see what Phillip has to say about, are there new or baby souls and old souls? What do these labels mean? How does the type of soul we are affect our human life? Here's what Phillip has to say. Let us begin by saying soul life is not all that different than human life. Human life begins as an infant, an innocent baby that by the time that baby is a toddler, they have learned the ways of their environment. Throughout childhood and into the teen years, they play out their environment. In the teen years, they may question or even rebel against that environment or embrace it more fully. By early adulthood, the human continues to conform, but the feelings of non-belonging that began years before deepen. By now, the human begins to question more deeply why they are or even having this life, or they confront without question. By mid-age, the human has either come to terms with who they are, or they have not, and probably won't this lifetime. Excuse me. Excuse me. I've got the window open, and I was outside earlier, and it gets me in the throat and the sinuses. You can even hear I'm a little congested. Old age isn't fun. By old age, the human has grown wise. Well, now there's the advantage of old age. In their wisdom, they have come to understand life and to understand what you call death. Now let us apply the phases of human life to the soul. When the energy of the first human beings formed, they came in peace, ignorant of any potential right or wrongdoing. As the energy multiplied and divided, infant souls became toddlers, and so on. As souls experience more lives as humans, they learn to experience more, changing their environments. Some stayed in the innocence of peace, while others ventured out into new environments they joined or created. Many of these environments humans see as harsh. As the soul experiences more, they return to peace. Not the peace of the innocent new or young soul, but the peace of wisdom of what life is. As you hear, the journey of the soul is much like the human life journey. The difference is that the soul journey takes many human lifetimes to go from new innocent soul to wise old soul. So basically what Phillip is saying is our journey as souls is really the same journey as we take as humans, but as souls, it takes us many lifetimes to become that wise old soul. So I remind myself of this when I think about why are there wars? Why is somebody mean? Why is someone inconsiderate? Why are politicians so ugly, or politics so ugly? Not politicians, but why are politics so ugly? And I remind myself the innocence of the new soul and how that environment is pretty well set within a couple of years. And as the soul reincarnates over and over, their environment will choose their human life. And as they choose their human life, the environment's they're going to either rebel against it or they're going to accept it. If you grow up and only know meanness, only know fear-based emotions, it's going to be very hard to learn about love-based emotions in this lifetime. Not to say you can't. There are stories upon stories upon stories of people who have been horribly treated as children and abused as children, and their parents were in abusive relationships, or drug addicts, or alcoholics, or just plain mean. And they grew into wonderful human beings. I want to also say, and Phillip didn't mention this, but I know this comes from Phillip, there are many stories, actually, ancient stories, of how older souls who do know, who have reached the masterhood, come back into life and help us who are learning, who are maybe new old souls, learning how to accept others with love and how to change everything into love-based instead of fear-based. Not that we don't experience the fear or the anger. We do. We have to experience it to understand it, but we don't live there. Those middle souls, those toddlers through kids, through teenagers, through young adult, and even middle adult, those middle souls who are in that stage of their life, if their environment is fear-based, if their environment is full of anger and hate and mistrust, they're growing. They just haven't reached the point of enough lifetimes to where they can return to the innocence with wisdom. As Phillip says, as you hear, the journey of the soul is much like the human life journey. The difference is that the soul journey takes many human lifetimes to go from the new innocent soul to the wise old soul. And we all know of masters, some religious leaders, the Buddha. That's a spiritual leader rather than religious, but Jesus, for example. Actually, most of our religious leaders were not the leader. I won't get into that right now, but they're recognized as the leader or thought of as the leader. Gandhi, Dr. Martin Luther King, these are all old souls as far as I'm concerned, and masters. Old souls are masters in training, and that's, if you're hearing the sound of my voice, believe me, you are an old soul. You're a master's in training, and some of you might already be a master. That would be great. We're going to get our message, shall we? Well, look at that. We're way back. And I'm hearing right. And it's a little bit longer. It's page 365. So it is the last message from Phillip in this book. If you heard right, we're just in sync. Intuitively, if you heard left, that's a message you need to really pay attention to. But here we go. Turn from poverty to wealth, and you will learn it is as easy to create the one condition as the other. Turn from loneliness to love, and you will learn it is as easy to create the one condition as the other. Turn from turmoil to peace, and you will learn it is as easy to create the one condition as the other. Turn from fear to faith, and you will learn it is as easy to create the one condition as the other. Turn from despair to certainty, and you will learn it is as easy to create the one condition as the other. You are the master of your life. We are all the masters of our lives. It's page 365, the end of the book. If you heard left, page 364, this is a message you want to pay attention to. When you're up against a brick wall, look for the crack in the mortar. When you're up against a brick wall, look for the crack in the mortar. My friends, I cannot tell you enough how grateful I am for each of you for coming live. For those of you who can't come live, thank you for your comments. Thank you, each of you here. I am so grateful for Johan or Johanna. I'm not sure which to say, forgive me. For Rush, for SV or Sharon, for Diane, for Gaida, for Sandra or Sandra. I'm not sure which to say, so forgive me. I'm so grateful that all of you could come and support Piper and I. Oh, she's over here, and the video doesn't show over there. Thank you for the love that you accept from us. Thank you for the love that you give to us. And thank you for helping to heal our world, because we are making a difference. We are. There's no question in my mind. Thank you. And Rush says, thank you, Diana, and senses love, prayers, hearts. I love you all. Thank you. Keep sending your love out into the world. It's working. Yes, I will see you for another Moments of Joy. Not today, probably, but I'll get another one out soon. And Sharon says, thank you. Thank you, Sharon. See you next Friday for sure.